All right, welcome. Crypto News Investigative Reports. Thank you for joining us. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence when investing. Thank you for joining us. I want to kind of fix what I didn't really get straight yesterday. I had two articles that were running together yesterday, and so I had to take the video down from yesterday. So I apologize for that, and I'll try and do a better job today. So here we go. I just want to share with you what's going on regarding this top 10 U.S. bank joins Ripple blockchain, joins Ripple blockchain's RippleNet for cross-border payments. PNC Bank. This is actually really new news, but it came out yesterday, so it's almost like old news because so much is happening. So thank you for joining us. Let's get started. PNC Bank. This is the big puzzle. The big puzzle is finally coming together. We're starting to see portions of that puzzle and how it's coming together. I discussed in my last video that there's two stories that are running parallel. The first story is the cryptocurrency, digital asset, blockchain revolution. But the other story that's running parallel to that story is the predicted financial crisis that's coming. That's coming. Similar to the 2008 financial crisis. So you have these two parallel stories that are running together. And so as I dig on one side about the cryptocurrency revolution and the digital asset that's happening, also what keeps coming up on the other side is, which is very professional, and which are some of the top economists, former U.S. Treasury Department heads, and also Ben Bernanke, which is a former Federal Reserve chairman, also predicting that by 2020 we can have another financial crash like we had in 2008. So both of those two stories are running together. But let's start with the good news. The good news is that if you're holding Ripple XRP, you have all the reason to be happy. I mean, PNC Bank. This is a huge, just a humongous. This is a humongous client. I mean, whoever sealed this deal is just extremely awesome. But what it does is, as this is a commercial bank, and so there's a difference between the World Bank, the IMF, central bank, and the next level of banking is commercial banks. So this is a commercial bank that has signed up, and but the big news is that it's one of the top 10 of commercial banks that have signed up with RippleNet. Also, it's 380 billion. They have with over 380 billion in assets. So they have 380 billion dollars in assets. So that makes them very, very powerful in terms of commercial banking in the United States. Now, we already had a lot of other news about the RippleNet working with banks that are not in the United States. This particular bank is a top 10 bank in the United States. That's what makes that big. We're talking 380 billion US dollars. PNC Bank, the ninth largest bank in the United States by asset, has joined Ripple's enterprise blockchain network, RippleNet, in what is a notary addition from the San Francisco-based fintech. With over 380 billion in asset, Pittsburgh-based PNC Financial Group has become the latest member to join RippleNet, a global payment network over 100 institutions, including banking's payment providers, remittance forwarders, and other operators, among other financial institutions, to enable a near-instant money transfer with on-demand liquidity and end-to-end tracking on a blockchain. So that's just phenomenal. We are like I said yesterday, all the Ripple holders ought to be elephant glad and hippopotamus happy, baby, because it's on right now. It's on like popcorn. So you really are really should be excited about it. I'm excited ever since I've read this news. But there's always a story behind the story, and this is going to get better. But this is as good as it's been right now. Let's take a look real quick at the market. Ripple is up some 12.62% today. You've got Bitcoin still leading at 110 on the market cap. You still have Ethereum at 21 billion market cap, and then XRP has jumped up to $14 billion market cap. That's pretty good because it's sitting at somewhere about 36 cents today. So from the 27 cents, 25, 27 cents market, it looked like it's jumped up to like 12.6%. Well, look, yeah, 12.6%. The market has really has shot up. All right, and so you want to watch that. But regarding this story, which is really a great story, I don't want to belittle that story because you know, I don't really give commercial banks very much credit on my channel because I don't really believe commercial banks are doing anything to really help people. I think what the commercial banks are doing are data analytics, charging people fees, whether by lending and borrowing. So, you know, and depositing, you deposit, they charge you. So, but I want to say this is great for XRP. Not to belittle it, this is great, this is awesome news, this is huge news. But it takes me to my next story, which is right here, and it is Wall Street. This story is, let's get down here. Ripple moves into Wall Street with the PNC Bank partnership, real-time cross-border payments for the top 10 bank. Now, this is really even bigger news. And the reason why this is bigger news for you that hold Ripple is because not only are you involved in these countries that Ripple is already working with, this banking thing, I want to bring this back up. Not only are you working with that, you're also now, if you are a Ripple holder, now you have an ancillary position in the stock market now. Okay? And let me explain what I mean by an ancillary position. No, you're not directly involved in investing in PNC Bank, but you are, as a Ripple holder, invested in Ripple, which now Ripple is working with PNC Bank. And so that's now even a larger issue now. I mean, now it's we're in the stock market. And that's what makes what happened yesterday with PNC Bank even a bigger thing. Now they're in the stock market. You know, you remember the big deal is XRP is security and XRP is security and blah, blah, blah. Remember that dumb debate, and Brad Garlinghouse is like securing what? But really now Ripple is an ancillary investor in the stock market because PNC Bank is in the stock market in Wall Street. So that really makes a difference. And that really caused some movers and some shakers now to have to make some serious decisions. I'll explain more about that as I go on, but I'll read a little bit about it. I don't want to read the whole article. It says Ripple announced today that they have partnered with PNC Bank, one of the top 10 banks in the United States of America. And that's really significant in the United States of America, because if you are in the United States of America and if you're trading in the United States of America, now you have to go to the stock market to do that. So in an ancillary way, Ripple is now involved in the stock market. All right. And it says they also stated that this partnership will be focused towards commercial customer of PNC Bank. The fintech company the fintech company stated that the bank customers will be able to reveal real-time border payments. This is as a result of being added to Ripple's network of banks around the world as RippleNet. And then it goes on to talk. PNC is one of the biggest banks in the country, pulling in a revenue of $16.32 billion last year. It's a lot of money, folks. $16.32 billion. That's a lot of money. They serve over 800 million customers and have branches in 19 states with over 9,000 ATMs. They also provide financial services in addition to their banking services. So, you know, and then it says notably, the price of the bank stock went up after announcement was made by Ripple. So let me move to this next thing. When we took a look at their stock market price, we saw that their price jumped up $3. It's up $3. Now, what's significant about that is that all of the holders that are, everyone that's holding PNC Financial, PNC, everybody that's invested in that, now they're up $3. $3 right now it's at $3.32. When I first yesterday they were at $141. Now they're at $144.85. That's substantial to a big time investment. Your institutional investor. That's pretty substantial. Those guys that are sitting around in them leather chairs on them top floors in them penthouses smoking them cigars that works with PNC, they are happy about what they see. Now, what that also does is that puts pressure on other commercial banks. Are you going to get in the game, or are you going to be obsolete? Some of these banks, your other banks, and guess who that is? That's these guys down here at the bottom here. Your JP Morgan Chase, your Wells Fargo Bank, your Bank of America. These guys haven't made $3.32 in the last day. Okay, so now the question is, does JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, what are you guys going to do? You guys are going to have to either by PNC Bank connecting with Ripple.net puts pressure on other commercial banks, right? We already know what the savings are for a commercial bank once they hook up with Ripple. American Express, Western Union, MoneyGram, those payment providers are saving mega amounts of money by hooking and linking up with Ripple. So now with this PNC Bank, which is in the United States, which is attached to the stock market and making money in the stock market, jumping up right here, jumping up $3.31. Hey, that is speaking volumes to investors. That's speaking volumes to investors. Investors are looking at that going, man, I want to make that $3. I want to make that, and that's just one day. That's just one day. So that's going to be a story that we're going to be following, is that we're going to be following the stock market. We're going to be following, now Ripple is involved in the market by putting their foot smack dab into the market by connecting publicly with PNC Bank. Not to mention, there's probably other banks that are connected with Ripple that have not been made public. Because if you look at these three banks, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, they won't be able to stay far behind. The other thing that I was trying to research is whether PNC Bank has been trying to file patents. And, you know, like when you investigate Bank of America is trying to, you know, they got 70, 80 different patents to try to corner the market in using blockchain and commercial banking. I didn't see that when it came to PNC Bank. Looks like they just went for it. And, you know, that's a pretty awesome thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I didn't find anything yet, and maybe they might be trying to develop some patents regarding using blockchain in the future. But that's a big story. So like I said, you got this PNC Bank, which is awesome, great news. And then they moved into the market. This is their price today. They're at $144.87 currently. They're in the green. The arrow is up. So everybody is happy. Ripple's happy. PNC Bank is happy. And these other three banks are watching, because if they don't get to the distributed ledger technology and the ledger protocol, xCurrent, xRapid, xVisa, they are going to be left behind. Okay, because that's the big question now, is who's going to be obsolete here, right? If you own a commercial bank, you don't want to be the guy that's left out in the cold. All right, which moves me to the other parallel story that's running parallel to this story. This was an op-ed post in the this was an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. This was an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. All right, now look who's talking here. This op-ed was by Ben Bernanke, Tim Geithner, and Henry Paulson. All three of these guys. Ben Bernanke was a Federal Reserve chairman. Geithner and Paulson were U.S. Treasury. They were Treasury secretaries. Bernanke is a former chairman of the Federal Reserve. Geithner and Paulson are former Treasury secretaries. Let's see what these guys look like. I think I had a picture of what these guys looked like. Let's do this here. And if you're not following us on Twitter, I try to tweet out most of what I kind of go through, just to have something in a chronological order. So please join me on Twitter. It's Crypto News and Investigative Reports at RobTech, ROBTECH, RobTechP. And I try to tweet out most of my articles. Also, please subscribe and be a part of Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Hit that subscription button there, boom, and then along with that subscription button, please hit that bell so you'll know. It'll give you an alert. The next time we put up a video, it's going to give you an alert to let you know what's going on. Also, we're going to be doing some other interviews with some other people pretty soon. We're just trying to organize that and get that together. So yeah, please subscribe to our channel. I just want to show you the other article that came out with these three, with Bernanke. I'm going to show you what these three men look like because it's very important. See, those two stories are running parallel. As you investigate the cryptocurrency revolution story, you also keep running into this story about the predicted coming financial crisis. And you know, I don't want to overlook that story. I want to continue to follow that story too, because the question becomes with that story is Ripple, is that XRP cryptocurrency or quote unquote digital asset, is that a hedge against the coming financial crisis? And that's, you know, that's what I talk about. Just to get sidetracked here just for a moment, please go and look at this video right here on Twitter. I found out that you're not supposed to be doing videos on Twitter. I mean, videos on YouTube. So I can't play this video, but it is about a central bank, not a commercial bank, but a central bank that's thinking about using, and he talks about Ripple. It's a central bank. It's the Dutch central bank. Now, that's different than a payment provider and a commercial bank. PNC is a commercial bank. But anyway, let me show you the pic of the three, I call them the three amigos that are really writing this op-ed and saying, hey, we're having some real problems and we need to get a hold of this issue quickly, because if we don't get a hold of the issue of the financial crisis, then the question becomes, what are we going to do in terms of the cryptocurrency? That's pretty interesting. And so that's where this whole story can really get pretty difficult, where we talk about that. I'm sorry, my computer's a little slow. Right here, got the picture finally. This is the three guys that we're talking about in this story right here. What we need to fight the next financial crisis. And these are the three men right here. This is Bernanke right here. This is Guthier right here. And this is Paulson right here. These three men right here were the men that actually was dealing with the 2008 financial crisis. And as they dealt with that 2008 financial crisis, they have learned lessons from the 2008 financial crisis. And these three men are predicting another financial crisis by 2020. So it's really important that we follow that story. So, I can keep going on and on about it. The problem that they're saying is that Congress has taken away some of the tools that were crucial to the U.S. during the 2008 panic. And as you read it, they say we were about 30 minutes from a total financial shutdown in America. And when America coughs, when America sneezes, the rest of the world financial market catch a cold. If America sneezes, the rest of the financial markets, they got a cold. Because, so they were saying we were basically in about 30 minutes from a real financial shutdown. All right, so without going any further, you definitely want to take some time, go to our Twitter page, our Twitter feed, and really read this article or click on it or find it. This is excellent reading because, like I said, and I'll repeat it, there's two stories going on here. There's the cryptocurrency revolution story going on here, and then there's this the predicted financial crisis story that is going on here, which is predicted by some very credible people like these three men right here. These three men are credible. It's not FUD. It's not fake. It's not a joke. These three men are credible. Okay? And they're the ones that's saying we need to get prepared because Congress has taken away some of the tools that were crucial to us during the 2008 panic. It's time to bring them back. Okay? And so anyway, and then finally, what do I have right here? Oh, I'm closing with this. Now, there's been a lot of rumors about whether SWIFT and Ripple are going to be able to work together. Now, look at this. This is off of smartcontracts.com. The distributed ledger technology and the smart contracts with the SWIFT network and existing banking system. Now, this is really weird to me because SWIFT doesn't have blockchain. Don't have blockchain and distributed ledger technology, interledger protocol, and none of those kind of things. Or they haven't been talking about it. But all of a sudden, on the SWIFT contract, on the smart contract thing, you see SWIFT in here with all of this technology. So this is really blowing me away. I got to ask you something. By looking at this, don't you think that it is a possibility that SWIFT will be merging or working with some technology that's out there already? Look, time is of the essence, SWIFT. You're going to either have to get on blockchain or be left out. So don't you think that SWIFT is going to either work with a cryptocurrency that's already out there, somebody that can already do it? So here's my question to you. Wouldn't it make sense for SWIFT to work with Ripple? Okay, because they don't have distributed ledger technology. They don't have blockchain technology. SWIFT just give you a tracking number. It still take 3 or 4 days for their money to get there. Look. Market regulatory, data provider, risk analyst, smart contract, a digital agreement that is tampered. I got it cut off right here because it is run on a decentralized computing network. SWIFT? Are you kidding me? They don't know nothing about that. Let's go down a little further. Let me see if I can move this over a little further. There we go. And move this over a little further so we can read a little bit more of it. Industry-wide interoperability. Who does that sound like? Fully automated process. Who does that sound like? Faster distribute resolutions. And they're talking about and having a interoperability in the middle here and between the central banks and the commercial banking and feeding into that interoperability to that intermediary. Who does that sound like, folks? Smart contracts, industry-wide interoperability, fully automated bank process, faster distributed resolutions. Most settlements eliminate risk. It sounds like to me, guys, that it is a possibility, and I'm entitled to my own opinion here, but I would say SWIFT needs to jump on the bandwagon and get with Ripple. That's what I would say that right here. SWIFT does need to get on the bandwagon and and jump on and get with Ripple. Time is of the essence. By PNC Bank being a large bank in the U.S., planted in the United States, has affected the whole puzzle. Okay? PNC Bank is going to be saving 40 to 70% on transactions and money and by using Ripple. They're going to be saving that kind of money. I mean, that's right there. Nostro accounts. All of those things that are affected that the Ripple as a SaaS, software as a service company, like Google and like Microsoft was, SaaS, software as a service. Ripple took that ideology, software as a service, made it available for banking, SaaS for banking. At this particular point, you got to get on board now. All right. So Ripple is saying you got to get on board. So from this right here, you might want to go in and read it. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But look, this does not sound like this sounds like something SWIFT is going to implement by connecting with a blockchain company that's already out there. Let me see if I can make myself smaller, and we might be able to do a little bit better. Okay, how will blockchain interact with banks to interact payments to and from existing bank accounts? This is also key questions during the initial implementation. How will blockchains interact with banks to enact payments to and from existing bank accounts? Or how will asset servings work on smart contracts and securities, signatures, dividends, collateral? this is all sounds like to me that Swift is looking for somebody to hook up with, and that person they're going to hook up with, even though that's an Ethereum symbol, it might be Ethereum. I don't know. My guess is that because they still have a liquidity problem, and Ripple handles the liquidity issue. But as you go through this, pull it up and read it all, and you'll see it looks like Swift might be trying to get with Ripple because Ripple is the most important thing. That's who they need to get with, is Ripple. All right? All right, I got to stop there. There's a lot going on. Stay tuned. Like I said, for the video that I put up yesterday, I apologize. There was another article in the middle of the article that I was trying to read. But we'll just recap. Here we go. Bam. PNC Bank. Big news. Big news. All around. For the whole puzzle, it's big news. Top 10 U.S. bank joins Ripple blockchain. Big news. Next thing. Bang. Because of the PNC Bank thing, now Ripple ancillary into, and you as a holder are ancillary invested in Wall Street because of the PNC Bank partnership. And then next, bang. Look at it. Before we go, 330. It's up 2.33%. This is the PNC stock. It's climbing, guys. All right. Plus $3.22 since yesterday. Don't you think the guys with the cigars sitting in them leather chairs on the top floor at the penthouse, they are super excited about this, right? And then with that story coming around, here's another story that's running parallel to that story is what we need to fight the next financial crisis that's supposed to be hitting us. All right? And then last but not least, what in the world is Swift doing? Talking about distributed ledger technology, interledger protocol, blockchain, and they don't even have that. Sounds like to me they're going to connect with somebody. My opinion, and I'm entitled to my own opinion, is that they need to get with Ripple. Hurry up, Swift. Call Ripple. Get hooked up with Ripple. All right. Until the next time, guys, wherever you are, have a great day. Also, I want to say, please subscribe to the Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Really would appreciate it if you become a part of that so you can catch us as soon as we have a video put up. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please follow us on Twitter. All right? Same thing. Crypto News and Investigative Reports on Twitter at RobTech. My @ symbol is at ROBTECH. RobTech P. All right. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you.